So we are in for a big treat. We have a special guest with us today. I've known Jeff Hill for a long time. He's one of the best leaders in the industry. He's an amazing individual and just a great asset to Shaklee. I feel very blessed to be able to work for him and with him every single day. Today, he's going to share a great message with you, a message about, well, I'll let him talk about that. But today, I want you to take a minute and pay attention to the words that he's saying, and we want to do a giveaway. For those things that stand out to you, share those things that really speak to you, those action items, or the message that really stands out to you. And if you post that in the comments, we're going to pick 2 people that have shared something that they learned today, and we're going to give them a gift. And I believe we're giving out the bamboo earbuds, which are, if you guys have seen them, they're pretty sweet. And so share with us something that you've learned today, and as a result, we'll do a giveaway and pick 2 people. So Jeff Hill, again, I think you'll be very impressed with the way that he presents today and the things that he shares. I feel like everything that I've learned in my career, all the things that I've learned that are great in my career have come from him. And again, like I said, we're blessed to have him here at Shaklee. So please help me welcome to the call our president of global sales, Jeffrey Hill.
Wow, that when you go to Jeffrey Hill, then I feel like I'm in trouble, because the only one that calls me Jeffrey is my mom. So I think you can probably relate to that a little bit. I'm going to get this thing off the screen here, but you know what? Thanks for letting me be on this call. You can see my back sitting here. I'm a recovering attorney, and I'm in a legal library right now. So it's hard not to fall asleep with all these books behind me. But let me just say this. We started out on this call with Jeff saying, thank you for all you do. And let me just add my thanks to that. You guys are doing something that's really quite remarkable. And I'll use this phrase sometimes, that it takes someone on the outside to tell people on the inside what's really happening. And if you are on the outside and looking at what you do every single day, it's really quite remarkable. Every day you pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You have this vision, you have this passion, you have this remarkable burning inside of you that goes out and gives you the courage to talk and to share with people, to help them improve their lives, most importantly, and then also to help them improve their lives financially. And then also there's more in that they get to be part of this community, of this family of people that are doing good things. And that's unique, that's special. And so you are making a difference in the world. And it might be in your little tiny corner of the world, but let me just say this. It matters. It doesn't go unnoticed, and it's cumulative. And the reality also is, we need more. We need more people doing more of that so that we can have a greater impact on the world. And part of that also is helping you realize your potential in doing better. I'm a guy that believes in people. I mean, if I open the kimono, talk about really where my fire, where my passion is. I love this industry and I love this business because it's about helping people realize their full potential and getting better. And Shaklee offers this tremendous opportunity to do so. And so today we put this catchphrase out there that says something like, trying to find the exact title, that says a high velocity formula for multiplying your personal effectiveness. And I go, wow, that's a lot, how to get better. But here's the reality. As I've watched high performers, as I've watched people move the needle in their lives and in their businesses, typically it's a few things. It's the good old Pareto principle, the 80-20 principle, that if you can just do certain things really well, you can get greater results. It will impact 80% of what you're doing. And so as I share just a few thoughts on this call today, I wish this was a call just with Jeff Hill and with you individually. And I hope that what you can do is pretend that it's just you and me, that we're having this conversation, and that you're asking yourself the questions as I share a few thoughts, that you're saying, okay, where do I stack up? What am I doing? Can I do better? Can I look at this differently? Can I move my personal needle? Because in the end, we have a grand vision, a tremendous, inspiring vision about how we can impact the world. But I'm also a firm believer, in order for the world to change, we first have to change your world, or you have to change your world. And we want to create the conditions and give you the tools and help and all the support we can for that to happen. But in order for that to happen, there's some things that you have to do. And I was on a call with Roland Oosterhuis a couple of weeks ago, and he threw out this phrase that I absolutely loved. He said, I didn't make the rules, but they are the rules. And that has stuck with me because sometimes I think we like to disregard the rules. We like to just pretend that they're not there, or that we pretend that the rules don't apply to us. But the reality is there are some rules of success. There are some principles that apply to success. I don't know who made them, but I do know that they are the rules. And to the degree that we can align our behavior, align our actions and our attitudes with those behaviors of success, we significantly, exponentially increase our chances for success. So let me jump in, and I'm not going to try and go long today. Jeff Pearson will nudge me here and tell me, okay, Jeff, it's time. But here's the first question I think that you really have to ask yourself is, have I made a decision? Is this something that I really want? Seriously, have I made a decision to build this business? And do I know what it means to me? Have I got a clear vision of that? Too many people refuse to decide. They dilly-dally. They hope, they wish, they ponder, they even pray over it, but they don't get to the point where they make a decision where they can say, I'm all in, where I've burned the boats based on my decision. Have you made a decision? The second piece then you have to ask yourself, am I willing to do the work that it's going to take to realize this vision of mine? And so have I made the decision, and am I really willing to do the work that it's going to take? And I appreciate you may not know what all of the work is, but we're going to address that a little bit because I think typically the work comes along the way. But I think you have to create that moment of truth in your own life. And at the end, I hope to circle back to that and ask you that question. Have you made a decision? Are you willing to do the work necessary that it takes? Okay, I've got some notes in front of me. I'm going to look down periodically to refer to, and I'm at a real disadvantage because as I was telling the group before, I have this horrible habit that I'll sit at night and I'll put down these notes and I'll have these tremendous thoughts, scribble them down, and then I get to the morning and I can't read them. So if I stumble a little bit, it's probably because I can't read my own writing. So here we go. Number one, if you're going to be more successful, you have to change your personal rules for success. Here's the deal. Most of you have been successful in some form, some way in your life. And oftentimes what happens is you'll identify those, you'll fall into a pattern, you'll get pretty good at those. And those will get you to a certain level of success. And that is laudable. That's a good thing. And you want to be doing that. You want to be creating success. But here's the deal also. As you move forward, as you're trying to get something new, you've all heard the phrase, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting to get different results. If you just continue to do more of the same, you're going to get more of the same. That's the same thing with behaviors, is that you're going to have to develop develop and identify a new set of behaviors in this business in order to elevate and exponentially change the results that you're getting and your performance. Here's the cool thing about that is because once you learn a new skill set, once you learn a new trait, what happens is it's a scary journey at first, but your confidence will build, you'll become more passionate, you'll become the type of person that people want to follow because they realize that you're a risk taker and you're willing to continue to develop yourself. Nobody wants to follow, nobody wants to be with a person who never changes. We call that boring. You don't want to be that. And so in order to change your business, you're going to have to identify this new set of behaviors. You can over-rely on what got you to where you are right now. And sometimes the problem is that gets us to a pretty good level, okay? And we get comfortable with that. And then that becomes a barrier for us to move further because we're so comfortable. Those behaviors are no longer serviceable. And I'd argue in our world today, at the fast pace at which it moves, You have to develop a nimbleness and an openness in your mind to try new things. That doesn't mean you need to go create world peace, but it might mean that you need to get more adept with social media, with sharing an Instagram story, with posting, with inviting, with pick your poison. But here's maybe a great place to start. And I know this applies to me. I usually see things that scare me, or find things when I think about it, I'll go, I know I need to do that, but that scares the bejeebies out of me. That is a great starting place in your business to start. And then, of course, it's the start that's going to get to you. Now, here's the other piece I'll just say as we get started on this, is the concept of quit trying harder, okay? Now, I'm making the assumption that you're trying and that you're trying hard, okay? So if you're not trying and not trying hard, then this doesn't apply to you. But many of you are going, man, I'm working hard. Sometimes the trick is to stop trying harder and to back off, or I like to use the term to helicopter up and look and see what you're doing and figure out why that's not working. You know, it's interesting. You've all seen this happen in your own homes. Summertime, the doors are open. A fly flies into the room, gets up against the window pane, and that fly will just continue to attack that window pane and fly harder and harder and all over and buzz louder and louder until basically it hits its demise, okay? Because it tried so hard, it's exhausted itself, okay? Instead of, and again, I don't know what's in a fly's mind, but that it backs up, helicopters up and looks and go, oh, there's an open door right there. Sometimes we are like that fly, okay? Buzzing up against the window pane. We need to helicopter up, back up a little bit, step back, pull the camera back, so to speak, and see what we're doing and see if there's not a better way, to be curious about that. So sometimes the answer is to stop trying harder, okay? All right, now here's the next piece. And again, these don't necessarily fall in a great order, but you, as you start looking at these different sets of behaviors you've identified, those are going to be frightening to you. Those are going to scare you. You're going to feel awkward. You're going to feel clumsy. They're going to go, man, I don't know that I want to do that. Let me just have you put this on your mirror, okay? Put it in lipstick, put it on a Post-it, put it somewhere, but it's suspend disbelief. And if you have to doubt anything, okay, doubt your limits. Don't doubt yourself, but doubt the limits that you can achieve, because that's really what this is all about, achieving something new. So suspend disbelief. Next point, focus on the ends. As I talked about earlier, have you made a decision? And am I willing to do it? The only way that you're really going to be willing to do it is if you focus on the end, if you begin with the end in mind, if you have great clarity, if you have a clear picture of what you want, and maybe what that looks like for you as you look and say, you know what, I can see my daughter graduating from college debt-free. I can see us burning the mortgage of our home. I can see that one credit card being paid off. I can see Christmas or the holidays being paid for with no debt come January. I can see myself 20 pounds lighter and see myself in that tuxedo, or see myself in that swimming suit or bikini, or what my wedding gown, whatever that is. But get with great clarity what that looks like. It may be having a Shaklee business that has 10 leaders, 12 leaders, this tribe, this community that are in the business, that are all earning a certain amount that gives them financial freedom. And when you guys pull together as a team, there is this bond, there is this catalyst, this unity, this sense of togetherness, because you provided the leadership to bring this team together that's so powerful that becomes life-changing. You have to get that clarity in your mind, because if you don't, the headwinds and the doubts and the challenges that will surely come will make it such that you won't complete what you started out with. So you have to focus on the end and have that be extremely, extremely clear. Okay? All right, next. choose, I'm taping this on here, choose a different set of risks. Let me tell you what that means. And this is a little bit of a mindset piece, okay? Here's what happens when we start something new, okay? When we jump into a new endeavor, when we know that we have to learn a new skill set, it feels risky because we are challenged. It feels clumsy to us. It feels awkward. It's not second nature. We may fall on our face. People may ridicule us. People may doubt us. People may pull back from us. You know, all of those things, they may call us crazy, okay? That's one set of risks as you make a decision to improve yourself and try and move your life forward. Definite set of risks. But weigh that against the set of risks of the status quo and of where the status quo will take you. That in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, your life will be no different. That you haven't changed physically, you haven't changed intellectually, you haven't changed emotionally because you haven't taken ownership of those. And so what you have to do is assume a different set of risks. And the one set of risks is just maintaining the status quo and knowing where that will take you. And you know in nature that the status quo means you decline and you die, okay? I don't know how to say that more positively, but that's what it is. Or you really do. You decline and you attrit and you decay is really what happens. The other set of risks is to know that you might get some ridicule, that you're going to be uneasy, that you're going to be sore, okay? But that is the road and the risks you take to move forward in your business. And remember this, I'm going to read this, that the biggest obstacle, the major obstacle to overcome the odds is not challenging them. The main obstacle to overcoming the odds is never challenging them. And until you test them, you'll never know what the edge of your capacity really are. So challenge the odd, choose a different set of books. Okay, next point. This may be one of the most powerful of all, is trust in the power of pursuit. Any dream, any goal, anything that's laudable that you need, it's pursuit that's going to get you. That's the major secret. And too many people confuse hoping, wishing, wanting, desiring with pursuing. Those are all passive, okay? They may be good to get you started, to get the dream going, but then there comes the moment of truth where you've got to transition from hoping, wishing, wanting, desiring, all those things, into actual doing in the business. It's the pursuit. That's where the dreams are realized. And it's when you start to pursue that there's a crystallization of what happens. And I don't know how this works, but I know that this works. There's some law, some principle out there. Call it the principle of pursuit. But once you're committed and once you start to move towards something, the world changes. And that may sound kind of crazy, but I truly believe that is a concrete principle. It changes because through your decision and through your pursuit, obstacles start to fall by the wayside. You bring an energy to what you're going after that the obstacles become surmountable. People start to align with where you're going. People come in to help you. Solutions start to come. But that only happens when you're moving and when you're moving towards your goal. And that's things become more crystallized. So trust in the power of pursuit. You have to be moving. Quick side story is, so I have 7 children, 6 daughters. My youngest daughter, Maddie, we live in Utah. We're taking her skier to teach her how to ski. We get her onto the top of the mountain or to an appropriate part of the mountain, and she is the cutest thing on the ski hill. Okay, we've got her all decked out. She is the bunny of all bunnies, right? So get her off the ski lift, and then the challenge begins. We've got to navigate ourselves down the hill. And for those of you that have ever snow skied before, and I'm sure there's lots of other metaphors, you'll pick up what I'm putting down here, okay? Is that got her to the top of the hill, looks down, it looks like that to her, and she's paralyzed. And the life lesson at this moment was this: Maddie, in order to get down the hill, you have to be moving. In order to have a great experience, you have to be moving. And what happened was, slowly but surely, with a few little fatherly, paternal nudges and maybe a few pushes, got her pointed downhill. And as she started to move, then she was able to turn and then turn and then turn and then move. And yep, she fell down a number of times, helped her up. She got back up. But it was in the moving that she had progression and that she became really good as a skier. And the experiences then developed and built off of that. But the point is, you may be paralyzed for a moment, but the way to unstick yourself is to start to move and trust in the power of pursuit, because that's where the results are. That's where your business will be realized. That's where your dreams are going to be realized. Next point, seek failure. Okay, sounds crazy, but progress and success is made up of failure. It's one of the biggest ingredients. It's like flour and water to a cake. If you're going to be successful, you have to be willing to fail, and you have to be willing to fail often. The trick, of course, is you have to be willing to learn from your mistakes. As I've watched many of the most successful people in a number of businesses, and people always say, Jeff, what do these guys do? And what are their characteristics? Here's what I've learned that they do. They're extremely curious, first off, okay? And two, they have this ability to turn bad days into good data. Let me repeat that. They have the ability to turn bad days into good data. What that means is this: we're all going to have bad days, right? And we can have that defeat us, that can discourage us. It can, I don't know why all the discouraging words are D, like it's like, death, disability, divorce, discourage. Anyway, someone's got to give that to me one day, and you can put that in the chat. But bad days into good data. The great leaders are able to take what happened in that day and step away from it and look at what happened and use that as an opportunity to grow and to learn. And so they'll look at that and go, man, directionally I was good, but I messed up here, or I didn't do that so well. How do I turn that into good data to help me do this again and do it a little bit better? Because no one gets it right the first time. It's an iterative process. Building this business is an iterative process. And I'm going to come in at the end and talk about why Sean Gray's and Jeannie's challenge of 30 this month is so key. But you've got to embrace failure, okay? Because everything looks like failure in the middle. I wrote these down. Everything looks like failure in the middle. You can't make a cake without getting the kitchen messy. Halfway through a surgery, I think it looks a little bit messy, okay? Rocket to the moon, okay, are off course 90% of the time. It fails its way to the moon. Okay, so if you think that failure is a part of, is telling you you need to stop, you're on the track, you couldn't be more wrong. What that may mean is that you are falling forward, failing forward, doing the right things. So embrace it, learn, iterate. Okay, don't quit. Don't use that as a sign that you're on the wrong track, made a wrong decision. It means maybe I need to just change it. I need to tweak it, but I need to keep moving forward, because progress masquerades as trouble. Okay, a couple more points, and then we're going to wrap up here. I've done my bad days with good data. Just a couple last ones here. As you look to grow yourself, open the gifts that you have. I am a firm believer that each one of us comes into this life with some God-given gifts. Wherever you want to say they come from, great. I believe they're God-given. I believe that there's some innate gifts and talents that each one of us has, and that we're on this earth to learn how to use those talents, how to use those skill sets, and not only improve our lives and our families' lives, but people around us, to make the world a better place. And each one of you has some unique gifts that have not been fully developed. Okay, use the parable of the talents, use the law of physics. The law of physics would say, use it or lose it. Parable of the talents, a biblical metaphor, is if you don't invest them, if you don't use them, the gods will take them away. You have talents, you have skill sets. And what your responsibility is, again, is to step back, identify those, and look at how uniquely they can be applied to your business. Because if you can take those become your strengths, and you're always going to get more out of your strengths, more out of your passion than you are at trying to make a weakness strong. Leverage what those skill sets are and what those talents are. If it's the ability to create process, if it's ability to build relationships with people, if it may be follow through, I don't know what it is, okay? But you've got them. And if you need some help, ask those people closest to you what you do really well. And then your role is to take that skill set, that gift, that talent, and connect it with the business and with how you can grow a meaningful Shaklee business. If you do that, if you align those, you will develop a passion that is so much greater, because you're working on something that you care deeply and passionately about it, and it's about you, and you know you're using what you were given to help yourself and help other people. That is a powerful thing, and that can happen here. And the last point before I just end, I'm sorry, I just keep saying that, but is take time to fall in love with what you're doing. To have it burn deeply within you, that there's something about this business that's remarkable, that's special, that burns so deeply that it moves you past any of the chilling effects of doubt and of resistance and of clouds and of some failure. Fall in love with this. Life is too short not to fall in love, not only with your family and the people you care about, but about what you're doing and how you're contributing to other people. Take time to write down, here's what I love about this. This is what makes the hairs on my arm stand up, okay? You have to have that as you fight this battle, and it's a battle of learning new skill sets, new talents, of pushing yourself, of learning new processes, of adapting to change, of becoming more nimble. You have to have that. So just a few ideas. Now, ending. Sean Gray, 2 weeks ago, talked about inviting 30 people into the business this month. I thought that was such a great challenge. And some people may say, oh, arbitrary. Oh, that's a pretty big number. You know what? It is a big number for many of us. Jeannie last week reinforced that. She shared these things have stuck with me over the last couple of weeks, where from the standpoint of, if you only invite 2 people and one of those people say no, there goes half of your business, and you're relying on one individual to build your business. And we all know that's not going to be enough. But it even goes deeper than that for me. Part of the magic, part of the power of what Sean and Jeannie were talking about last week is this concept, 30 times. What if you put yourself in a situation 30 times to learn, to fail, to grow? Your learning has become exponential. You become 30 times more experienced than the person that just did it 1 time, or 15 times more than just did it 2 times. Think what that, and it's not a zero-sum game, it's not a competition, but what I'm trying to describe is this is how you grow a meaningful business. This is how you reach your goals. I talked about you changing your world, making your world better, achieving what you want for your life and for your loved ones. That's how it's built. The systems are there, not perfect, but the systems are there. We have absolutely phenomenal products. We have a rewarding compensation plan. We have these phenomenal trips that you can earn, lifestyle, this sense of community. We are a company that stands for something good. But there is a business element to this business that you need to understand, and it's the business behind the business. And in order to be successful, in order to achieve what you want, you need to understand that business, and it's going to come through 30 times, because you will learn, and then you will learn some more, and you will iterate, and you'll be curious, and you'll turn bad days into good data. Last thing. Sorry, Jeff. And I love this. This is from my book, Grit. But Will Smith, everybody knows who this is. Will Smith, the actor. And he's asking about why he got so good, why he was so talented. And this is what he said. Will Smith has thought a lot about talent, effort, skill, and achievement. I've never really viewed myself as particularly talented, he once says. Where I excel is ridiculous, sickening work ethic. The only thing I see that is distinctively different about me is I'm not afraid to die on a treadmill. We don't want anybody dying on treadmills. I don't want to die on a treadmill. I will not be outworked, period. You might have more talent than me. You might be smarter than me. You might be sexier than me. You might be all of those things. You got it on me in 9 categories. But if we get on the treadmill together, there's 2 things. You're getting off first. I'm going to die. It's really that simple. But then he goes on to one other piece where he simply says, it's not that you got on the treadmill the first day. It's that you got on the treadmill the next day and the next day and the next day. That's where the success is found. He ends by saying, many of us, it seems, quit when we start what we start far too early and far too often. Even far more than the effort a gritty person puts in a single day, what matters is they wake up the next day and the next, ready to get on the treadmill and go again. Guys, exponential success, achieving your goals, is found in simply the doing, in the pursuit. So I echo, and if I could yell louder, I would echo extremely loud what Jeannie said. Where your learning is going to come from is in sharing, is in going out with our Prove It Challenge and learning every single day. So I hope what you'll do as we end this call is you'll take some of these thoughts, you'll measure yourself against those and say, have I decided, and am I willing to do the work necessary to achieve my goals and to change my life? So Jeff, back to you.
Jeff, thank you. Thank you so much. That was powerful. And as you can see in the comments, a lot of good takeaways. It's about doing. It's transitioning from wanting to doing. And I think you made that point very clear. Let's go do it, all of us together. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your takeaways in the comments. I want to call out the 2 people we selected for the earbuds. We picked Julie Blossom Hunt. Thank you for sharing your comments, and Michelle Goodall Pickens. So thank you for participating. Thanks again, Jeff. So please in the comments, show your appreciation for Jeff Hill and the things that he shared with us today. Like I said early on, our next call will be on January 6th. So mark that on your calendars. Also mark January 4th. That's going to be a huge day. That's a day where we come together and how we share exciting information and tools that will help launch your business in 2020. So thank you. Make a plan to take action today, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks.